amateur, ham radio, a hobby that combines social, educational, and technical aspects, is regulated to ensure responsible use of the radio spectrum. Licensing, registration, and adherence to regulations are fundamental aspects of this hobby, differing significantly across local and international borders. This article discusses these aspects, offering insights into what ham radio operators need to know and comply with to engage in this fascinating hobby. Locally, the process of becoming a ham radio operator usually starts with obtaining a license from the National Telecommunications Regulatory Authority. In the United States, for example, the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, is responsible for issuing amateur radio licenses. The licensing process typically involves passing an examination that tests knowledge of electronics theory, operating practices, and legal regulations. There are different levels of licenses, each granting various privileges related to frequency use, power, and operational modes. Once licensed, operators are assigned a call sign, which serves as their unique identifier in the amateur radio community. Internationally, the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, plays a crucial role in coordinating the use of the radio frequency spectrum and satellite orbits. Amateur radio operators wishing to communicate across national borders must adhere to the ITU's regulations, in addition to respecting the rules of the countries with which they intend to communicate. The ITU's radio regulations include provisions specifically for amateur radio, which are designed to prevent interference between countries and different radio services. International agreements, such as those made during World Radio Communication Conferences, also influence amateur radio operations on a global scale. In addition to licensing and international regulations, ham radio operators must be aware of specific operational guidelines designed to promote courteous and efficient use of the spectrum. These include band plans, which are voluntary guidelines suggesting how to use different parts of the radio spectrum to minimize interference among amateur operators and with other radio services. Local clubs and national organizations, such as the American Radio Relay League, ARRL, in the U.S., provide valuable resources for ham radio enthusiasts. These entities offer educational programs, technical advice, and advocacy on regulatory issues. They also play a significant role in organizing events, contests, and emergency communication drills, which are integral to the amateur radio experience. Lastly, the future of amateur radio is shaped by ongoing changes in technology, society, and regulation. Emerging technologies such as digital modes and internet-linked repeater systems are expanding the boundaries of what's possible in amateur radio. At the same time, regulatory bodies continually update rules to reflect changes in technology, usage, and international agreements.